And n8n just delivered a new one prompt builder for workflows. And in this video, I'm going to actually try it out and see if it's all hype or if it actually works. And we're going to try it with an easy workflow, a medium workflow, and a complex workflow, and then see if this is actually a killer of freelancers and agencies. Okay, so we're inside n8n in this case, and this is essentially how it looks like when you start a new workflow. It's just going to be like this empty flow, and it's going to add first step or build with AI. And you have 50 monthly credits. I'm on the starter plan, so essentially that's what I have access to in this case. But so the way I'm thinking about, let's start with something simple, like you just click on this. I don't want to click there. Like let's start with a pizza delivery chatbot. Okay, so it's just gonna add a prompt which we could essentially made through ChatGPT ourselves. And let's see what happens now. And this is just a simple build, really. Okay, so it's finally done. That took some time. So first of all, what exactly is this pizza chatbot trigger? So this is a chatbot trigger, but for so that only one. Okay, so this is just a standard chat. So if I were to open it and write like hello, I'm gonna guess that it's just gonna run it through. It's kind of interesting that they added a memory on the chat over here. Never seen that before. That's very interesting. Yeah, this is placeholder data. You need to change that, which makes sense. Okay. System message. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see what it wrote in here. Yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna have to update that yourself. And nothing is really happening here. It's just stuck loading, really. Okay. Uh, let's break that. There we go. Okay, so it actually works when you do. Okay, and then let's see. KTP mini from AI. I don't. Oh yeah. You need to put in your endpoint here and add in that here as well. What? So you need to put in like your own order management API tool here with a HTTP request essentially. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, you could import the curl and add it in here. It's not really gonna do that for you if you don't like if you like tell it to do that. That's why it's kind of the same thing here and probably the same thing over here as well. And from AI, undefined, interesting. Okay. Okay. So I mean, it looks good. I mean, it looks fine. It's just that if I were just starting out with this and you just said like placeholder API endpoint URL, I don't think it would have made much sense. It will make more sense to just put like import the curl in here and just get the HTTP request essentially, rather than having this set node where you add. What are you gonna add here? I mean, are you just gonna add the URL? You still need like the API keys and probably some sort of JSON body as well. So yeah, that's kind of confusing because it didn't really add anything here except for like the URL. And I can bet you that you're gonna need some sort of authentication, some sort of body, 100%. It's like yeah, but they didn't add that. And yeah, I mean this was something pretty simple-ish. I will say that okay. I mean, if you're gonna build this out, you're gonna have to sit down and actually try to understand what is happening. So it's not like you're just gonna have it build it out for you and be like, okay, it's done. We can use it right away. Because based on what I'm looking at right now, I kind of need to like fill in this data. I need to update these things. I need to make sure that they work. And a lot of the, like issues I've seen with a lot of people is that like making sure that you have the right keys that is authorized in the right way. That is a common issue that a lot of people do have. But once that is completed, most of the time they can just continue doing what they were doing. But just authorizing something is oftentimes sometimes it takes a lot of time for people. For example, the Google admin console, that one it's such a hurdle to like get through it. But once you know how to get through it, it goes pretty fast once you know. But if you're new, it's gonna take some time to figure out all of those different steps because you need to enable. Let's say we're gonna use Gmail, we need to enable it, and then we need to create a test user, and then we need to essentially get the secret key and the client ID, and then we need to also add the authorization callback URL to make it work. So there's a lot of things you need to make sure that they're there. Let's do a complex one: lead qualification and call scheduling. Let's do that. That's a bit more medium. But what I was gonna say is that one thing that I feel like is missing is that in a lot of companies you might have people essentially like me that do this on their free time and try to automate their work, which leads to the people that you're working with asking you, how are you doing this? And you showing them and essentially becoming the guy for doing that, which is what essentially happened with me. I was automating a lot of things when I was working inside the econ company. And it ended up becoming so much that I was eventually automating things inside the company for people where they were asking me, like, I'm doing this, how can we automate this for? And if you have a person like that inside the company, then using this is going to be super helpful because it's going to speed up the entire process for them and just make it, you know. But if it's just a completely new person that is just like, oh, hey, I'm just going to build out this and I'm just going to do it myself with this prompt builder, I think that's gonna be a bit hard because you kind of need to get into it and understand what is going on. And in this build, as you can see, we're actually using Google Sheet, Gmail, and Google Calendar over here. And that is something they're going to have to figure out how to authorize. So they're going to have to read through the documentation. They're going to have to, or either ask ChatGTP for help, whichever works. You can watch YouTube. You have a bunch of different ways to solve this. You could hire a consultant to help with you. But all I'm saying is that uh, I do not feel fearful that I'm like gonna be obsolete because this builds out the entire thing. It's because even though it builds out the entire thing for you, you still need to like make it work. You still need to like work the way it's supposed to work. So yeah, it made the lead form submission for me. Uh, oh yeah, we have a bunch of issues. So yeah, as you can see here, we have some issues. I can't even run this one because I'm having some issues in this one down the lane. So I need to cut it off, and then I can run it. Okay, I can't even do that. I'm just gonna turn this off, and there we go. Okay, so yeah, and as you can see, even that part, like just knowing that, oh yeah, you need to like turn off these things. You still need to spend time like figuring that out. So that's the entire thing. Is like and then you have these placeholders, and you need to like figure out high score threshold. That should probably be a variable. So this is not going to be like hard coded because I'm going to guess that they get that information from somewhere. Uh, yeah, meeting duration, fetch a company website. Do we get that from company name, your role, company? Yeah, do we do? And then we had this lead qualification, and we're evaluating the lead based on what their ad. Yeah, I mean it's fetch company website, and then we're adding the company website information there. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean it works, and you might get, yeah, interesting. And then of course you have the Google Sheet, which you need to log in and fix yourself. Check lead score, that's fine. Calendar, you need to set that up. Email, you need to set that up as well. So they still need to do things. It's not like this is seriously not plug and play and being like, hey, just click play and it's done. It's seriously like, no, you need to know like what you're doing. You still need to, or you need to read a lot and like figure that out, and that's gonna take some time. So and then the last thing we can do, multi-agent research workflow. I feel like that might be a complex thing. Where is it asking for? Complete these steps. Oh, never mind. It's actually done. Okay. Okay. And it did essentially the same thing again, added some hard coded data, and then he added a multi agent thing over here. This has OpenAI model fact check. Okay. It's kind of weird that. Okay, so every single one has their own brain, but these two are connected to the same web search tool. Okay. And then we have Wikipedia. Is there a Wikipedia tool? Yeah, there is a Wikipedia tool. Never seen it before. Um, this node does not have any parameters. Okay, that's great. What is the error over here? Message does not match parent. Fact check. Hmm. Interesting. So all of the information is getting up here, and then we have fact checker, and then we have report writer on the fact checking data. Yeah, for sure. It's cool that it built out the entire thing, but I know right now that the biggest issue with doing this is like making sure that the AI tool or agent is doing the thing you want it to do. Like the system message is what takes time when working with AI tools. Is seriously that. Once you have a good system message, is it's like it's so easy to keep working on. But if you don't have that, it doesn't work. So it's like making sure, at least what I've noticed, like just making sure that the brain that you have a good model. Number first of all, that is so important. If you have a bad model, it's just gonna be even more stressful. But let's say you have a good model like Sonnet 4.5. And then the next thing is just making sure that the system message is so good that the AI agent will follow your instructions to a T. Because if it doesn't do that, you're just going to be burning credits and you're never going to follow what you're asking it. Uh, so that's where the bottleneck really is going to be when it comes to this workflow, because it looks pretty simple in terms of, oh, you just have the data being sent in here, and then you ask the agent to orchestrate everything and like send over and do the research fact and then write the report. Essentially, it's not really a lot of things going on here if you're gonna be real. So but making sure that the system message works the right way on every single one of them, that's where it's going to be the hard and annoying part, really. And I know this because I've been working with this so many times, and I've just noticed where things take time and where things go pretty fast. And when it comes to the system message, that's oftentimes the thing that takes the longest time to make sure that it's just so good that it does what you want it to do. And yeah. So, what are my conclusions after using this? I will say, for the people that want to spend their time actually sitting down and using the one prompt builder, if you are that person, or if you know a person, they can 100% do it themselves, which is not a bad thing. But the way I like to think about it at the same time is the same way that I can clean my home myself, but I still don't do it. I hire somebody to do it for me. And I think that that's kind of the same thing, that yes, they can do it themselves, but is every single person gonna go out and be like, hey, I'm gonna build out my own automation while at the same time having other things to do? I don't know if they're really gonna do that, because a lot of them are probably just gonna go, you know what, I'm just gonna go hire somebody, And that's where there might be a lot of competition, because let's say somebody else can charge a lower rate, because now they can use the prompt builder and they can just speed it out in 1 minute, and versus maybe you have to build it out. So they can just lower the price and go like, hey, we can build this out in 1 day for this price. So that might be an issue, of course. Really. But either way, the conclusion really is that yes, you can use this to build it out, but you still, whoever is using this is gonna have to put down time to learn to use it and understand what is going on. Because if they don't, they're just gonna run into issues and they're just gonna feel super frustrated, and they're probably gonna give up after a while. And that's it. And then they're just gonna hire somebody to help them fix the thing, or solve, or essentially build it out for them. Another thing I've also noticed, because I've been looking around a lot on Upwork, is that uh, some businesses will actually ask for a JSON audit. They will ask for an audit on their workflow. And I think that might be because they have built it out themselves in house, but they feel unsure if they can trust the thing. So they want that peace of mind knowing that, hey, this works. And that's also something that, yes, maybe they can build it, but are they 100% sure that it's going to work the way they want it to work every single time? And then they might ask for an audit instead. But the audit is of course going to cost less than building, than having a person building it out. But if it turns out that what you just built is not going to work the way you want it to work, you, the person might have to rebuild the entire thing. So you might just have built something and then realize that, oh, we have to rebuild the entire thing. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, and I will see